Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Dramani Online Mathematics. Please subscribe and share to your friends to also subscribe. Today we are going to look at triangles. In fact, triangle is also part of what? Geometry, plain geometry, because they are also made up of what? Lines. And we are saying that a triangle is a plane figure that are bounded by what? 3 lines. Is that okay? 3 lines. So let's look at this. Is a triangle, and we are saying that this thing is a triangle because it is bounded by 3 lines. You can see from here to this side. Let's say here is A, B, and C. AB is a line, BC is another line, that is 2, and AC is also another line, 3. So they are bounded with what? 3 lines. You could see that this line and that line is meeting at this point. And if you remember, when I was defining an angle, I said that angles are bounded, or angles are formed when 2 lines meet at a point. Angles are formed when 2 lines meet at a point. So this is a one line, another line, and they are meeting at this point. So angle is formed here. Is that okay? This line and that line is also meeting here. So angle is formed here. And this are also meeting there. So angle is formed there. Now, the sum of interior angle of a triangle sum up to what? 180 degrees. So A degrees plus B degrees plus C degrees equals 180 degrees. Is that okay? And the area of a triangle, so area of a triangle is equals to half times the base times the height. So the area of a triangle, there is a symbol for triangle, is half times the base times the height. Is that okay? Very good. Now, let's look at types of triangle. Types of triangle. Just like when we were dealing with angles, we looked at types of angles. We're also going to look at types of what? Triangles. Okay, so types of triangle. The first one is the common one that we all know, right angle triangle. So one is right angle triangle. Okay, what do you mean by right angle triangle? If you recall, we looked at right angles and we said that right angles are equals to 90 degrees. It's the same thing. Right angle triangle is a triangle in which one of the angle is what? 90 degrees. Okay, so now let's look at how the diagram look like. Okay, so this is how the diagram look like, and at the corner here, you know, there's a symbol for 90 degrees. Okay, so we are saying that this is 90 degrees. So any angle that have one side being 90 degrees is a right angle triangle. Any angle that has one of its angle being 90 degrees is a right angle triangle. All right, now let's move on to another type. Now let's look at obtuse angle triangle. Okay, obtuse angle triangle. If you recall again, we also looked at obtuse angle, and we said that obtuse angles are angles that are greater than what, 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees, if you recall. So the same thing happening here. For obtuse angle is a type of, obtuse triangle is a type of a triangle in which one of its angle is greater than 180. Obtuse angle is a type of a triangle obtuse triangle is a type of a triangle in which one of its angle is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So now let's look at how the diagram look like. So I have something like this, and then something like that. So the angle that forms here is angle theta. We are saying that this angle is greater than 90 degrees but less than what? 180 degrees. So this is an obtuse angle. Now let's also consider an acute angle. Acute angle triangle. So acute triangle. For acute triangle, just like acute angle, we are saying that acute angle are less than 90 degrees, but they are greater than 0 degrees. That's what we said. In the same way, for acute triangle, let me draw the shape for you. This is the shape. Okay. So looking at an acute triangle, what happened was that for it, if let's say here's A, B, and C, okay? For the acute triangle, the angles here are all less than 90 degrees. The angles are all less than 90 degrees. So each of them, so we are saying that A is less than 90 degrees, angle B is less than 90 degrees, angle C is less than 90 degrees. Unlike this one is only one part that is equal to 90. The rest can be any. That when you add them, you get the 180. The same thing, only one part that is greater than 90. The rest can be any, so that when you add them, you get the 180. But for this, all of them must be less than what? 90 degrees. That's an acute triangle. Now, let's look at equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. We are saying that equilateral triangle is a type of triangle in which all the three sides are what? Equal. So now let's look at how equilateral triangle look like. So if this is our equilateral triangle, we are saying that all the sides are what? Equal. Okay? A BC. And line AB is equals to line BC is equals to line AC. So this is equals to that, this is equals to that, this is equals to that. Is that okay? Also, the angles here are all equal, and they are all equals to 60 degrees. So B is equals to 60 degrees, A is equals to 60 degrees, and C equals to 60 degrees. You have already said that when I add them together, I will get what? 180. So for equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal, and the angles there too are all what? 60 degrees. It means that it is what? An acute angle. Very good. One thing too that you have to take note is that the line of symmetry of equilateral triangle is 3. So the line of symmetry, you have 1, 2, 2. We have 3 lines of what? Symmetry. 3 lines of symmetry for equilateral triangle. So we have looked at the angle is 60. Then the 3 lines or the lines of symmetry are 1, 2, 3. And their lengths are what? Equal. That is for the equilateral triangle. Now let's look for another one. Okay, so we have set of the equilateral triangle where we mention all the 3 sizes being equal, and the angles there too are 60 degrees, having 3 lines of symmetry. What if only 2 sides are equal? If only 2 sides are equal, then we call that kind of triangle isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle. Isosceles what? Triangle. So we are saying that isosceles triangle is a type of triangle in which the base angles are equal and the 2 sides are also what? Equal. So now let's look at how it looks like. So, not drawn to scale. This is too crooked. Let me redraw it again. So now, these are A, B, C. Okay, so looking at this particular one, we are saying that only 2 sides are what? Equal. Then the base angles are also what? Equal. So if here is A and here is B, and maybe here is C, we are saying that A is equals to what? B. So the base angles are equal. And this triangle has only 1 line of symmetry. Isosceles triangle has only 1 line of what? Symmetry. So isosceles triangle has only 1 line of symmetry. Only 1 line of symmetry. Okay, now what if all the sides are not equal? If all the sides are not equal, then we talk about scalene triangle. Scalene triangle. So a scalene triangle is simply a type of triangle in which all the sides are what? Unequal. So, and it has no line of what? Symmetry. It has no line of symmetry. So let's see if I have this. Then, if I have this, I've already said that not drawn towards scale, okay? This thing is worrying me. So this side is not equals to that, it's not equals to that. Is that okay? So a scalene triangle, all the sides are unequal. All the sides are unequal. and also it has no line of symmetry. It has angles, but the angles too are what? Unequal. Is that okay? So these are types of what? Triangles. Now let's look at some properties of triangles. Okay, so now let's look at the first property, which I've already mentioned in the introduction. The first property is that the sum of interior angles of a triangle sum up to 180 degrees. I've already mentioned that, but let's look at it again. So let's say if I have a triangle here, so joining this thing together, have a nice triangle. We are saying that these are the interior angles you are talking about: A, B, and C. So you are saying that the sum, meaning if you add them together, you must get 180 degrees. Is that okay? So let's assume that in this one they are giving you the angle here to be 50 and the angle here to be 50 degrees, 60 degrees. They are giving 60 and what? 50 degrees. And they are asked, or you have been asked to find A. How do you get A? We are saying that when you add this, that, you get 180. Meaning, if I have A plus B, which is now 60 degrees, plus C, which is 50 degrees, you should get 180 degrees. So A plus 60 plus 50 is 110 degrees equals 180 degrees. So A is equals to 180 degrees minus 110 degrees. So A is equals to, you subtract this from that, you have 70 degrees. Is that okay? Meaning that our A is 70 degrees. Now, let's also look at the other property. That one too, I've already mentioned it to you. I said that for all isosceles triangles, the base angles are equal. I said this one too. So let's assume that I have this triangle here, which is my isosceles. I hope you understand isosceles now. Okay, this one is an isosceles triangle, meaning this and that are equal. They are saying that the angle here and that of this, A is equals to what? B. So you are saying that for isosceles, all the isosceles triangle, the base angles are what? Equal. So now, let's look at this example. Find the value of M and N, okay? So now let's take this triangle. I have, this is isosceles triangle. Now I have M here, and this side is 70 degrees, and I have my N here, okay? So now looking at this particular example, we know that this and that they are isosceles, and we are saying that if a triangle is what? An isosceles triangle, then their base angles are equal. It means that M is equals to what? 70 degrees. So our M here too is 70. And if our M is 70 and we need to find N, or you want to find N, then we also know that M plus N plus 70 degrees equals 180 degrees. We said it already that the sum of interior angles of a triangle sum up to 180. And this one is a triangle, so if you sum the interior, you have to get 180. So already you have worked for M, which is 70, so you have 70 degrees plus N plus 70 degrees equals 180 degrees. So N plus 140 degrees equals 180 degrees. So N is equals to 180 minus 140. So our N is equals to 40 degrees. Is that okay? So that is that property. The base angles are what? Equal. The base angles are always equal. So take note of that. Now let's also look at the exterior angle theorem. The exterior angle theorem. Okay, so the next property is the exterior angle theorem. The exterior angle theorem states that the exterior angle of a triangle, so this is an exterior angle of this triangle, is outside the triangle, is that okay? Is equals to the sum of the two interior opposite angles. So this D here, the angle here, the opposite of it will be this one and this one. Are we seeing it? So we are saying that the exterior angle property is saying that the angle here is equals to the sum of the two opposite what? Interior angles. So if you look at this one, this E, the opposite of this E is A and what? B. Is that okay? So we are trying to say that D is equals to B plus what? C. Or E is equals to what? A plus B. Simple as that. This is the property. This is the property. So in case they give you a question there and there's an angle outside here and there's an angle here, and you are being told to find any of them, you can use this property and make sure that you state that property. Is very important. So now let's look at an example. So let's say I have a triangle like this. Here is 40 degrees. Here is 30 degrees. And here is okay, A. And this side too is what? D. Now I have something like this. Now the question is, find the value of A and B, A and D. So this is the question. It's very simple. Somebody can decide to find, no, this plus that, 40 plus 30 plus A will give us what? 180. That's interior angle. The sum of interior angle of a triangle sum up to 180. But we can also use a property that says that the exterior angle of a triangle is equals to the sum of its opposite interior what? Angles. So you see this D is equals to 40 plus what? 30 degrees. Is that okay? So it means that our D will give us 70 degrees. I hope it's clear. Now, looking at this particular thing, A plus D is also on a straight line. Can you see that? A plus D is also on a straight line. So if A and D are on a straight line, then you can say that A plus D is equals 180 degrees. I've already said that you can also decide to add this plus that and equate it to 180 and use the interior angle of a triangle sum up to 180. This one too is on a straight line, so angle on a straight line sum up to 180. So this will give us, and already we have worked for D, so it will be A plus 70 degrees equals 180 degrees. A plus A is equals 180 degrees minus 70 degrees. So A will be what? 110 degrees. 110 degrees. So that will be A, but which is larger than the angle that's supposed to be here, okay? So it's just an example that just came out from my mind. So the correct answer is what? A, 110 degrees. I just want you to understand the concept. The concept is that since this D here is opposite to the sum of that, then we can equate them together. Thank you very much for watching. The next video that I'm going to do will base on the examples of what we have already learned, the property that we have learned. Is that okay? Now, see you in our next video.